Hot air balloon rides remain banned as the consumer watchdog receives complaints involving tickets worth $40,000. The government revokes the registration of Tsung Tsin Middle School, a suspected shell institution, over poor management. And Thailand's parliament picks business tycoon Anutin Charnvirakul as the country's new prime minister. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Evelyn Bai. Disappointment looms over Hong Kong's first hot air balloon festival as passengers' rides remain banned. As of 5 p.m., the Consumer Council has received 28 related complaints involving payments of over $40,000. Customs are also following up on related reports and vow to take enforcement action if there are any violations of the Trade Descriptions Ordinance. Jamie Liu reports.
As the sun set on the second day of the festival, workers were seen inflating hot air balloons against the evening sky. However, tethered hot air balloon rides remained prohibited, leaving many visitors disappointed. They were not thrilled with the compensation either, which offers 2 entries into the festival but no refund.
If you're buying a ticket to just look at balloons, I could just go there, look at the balloon. I work up in this office here. You don't need to pay money to just come in and just look at a balloon, and you can just look at it from outside. They sold on the expectation that we're going to have a tethered balloon ride, but it's not happening.
A food vendor said the balloon ride letdown has led to a drop in foot traffic. He initially expected to earn a total of over $1 million in revenue throughout the festival, but had only made hundreds today. Tickets for the 4-day hot air balloon festival priced between $200 and $880, with a tethered ride to cost an extra $580. But the ride failed to receive government approval, leaving the event limited to balloon displays along with outdoor concerts and a gourmet zone. With the organizer Grand Events Asia Limited still silent on whether the rides would go ahead. Our crew visited its registered address in Sheung but only found its accounting service provider. Our reporter reached out to Grand Events Asia staff but could not get through. Responding to media inquiries, the Culture, Sports and Tourism Bureau said it had assisted the organizer in coordinating with relevant departments during the event application process. It also admitted the hot air balloon festival was once featured on the Tourism Board's website, but the promotional content was later removed after noting mixed public feedback. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
Nearly 200 union employees at Swire Coca-Cola walked off the job this morning, protesting the firing of a driver over a traffic accident. Members of the Swire Beverages Hong Kong Employees General Union demonstrated outside the company's plant in Sha Tin, waving signs and shouting slogans demanding justice for their dismissed colleague, a driver. The union said the driver was involved in a traffic accident while reversing without wearing a seatbelt last month. Despite no charges being filed, the company terminated his employment. Swire Coca-Cola Hong Kong Limited said the driver violated safety protocols, endangering others, emphasizing that the dismissal followed proper procedures.
The
dismissed driver, an 18-year employee, said the case is still under investigation and no charges have been filed, calling the termination unfair. The union's deputy chairman, Cheng Hing Long, said previously when colleagues were involved in traffic accidents, the firm will assign them to relatively easy tasks temporarily. However, this time they dismissed a colleague based on an internal investigation, a move he called rushed and indicative of targeting union representatives. The Education Bureau has revoked Tsung Tsin Middle School's registration, citing unresolved issues with the school's closure and poor management. Cheryl Yun reports.
The decision follows revelations that a Shenzhen-based education group allegedly used Tsung Tsin Middle School as a shell school to recruit mainland students, leading to a suspension of operations. The Education Bureau today said the school's management committee failed to meet its governance responsibilities, adding that ongoing disputes among school managers and multiple lawsuits involving the Tsung Tsin Association, the school's sponsoring body, have disrupted daily operations and created an unacceptable situation. The Bureau noted that written submissions from school managers also failed to address the core issues of closure and governance, prompting the cancellation of its registration. Social welfare lawmaker Tsung Yun criticized the lack of oversight, urging stronger monitoring to protect students' well-being. Deputy Secretary for Education Jeff See denied claims that the Bureau acted only after complaints, noting that Tsung Tsin still had students enrolled in the 2023-24 academic year. To prioritize student welfare, the Bureau halted operations for the 2024-25 term. He added that the Bureau has conducted surprise inspections at over 10 schools citywide this month, checking registrations, student attendance, and teacher credentials. Xi also revealed that the Bureau is developing a code of practice for private schools, aiming to be announced within this academic year. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
The government will submit the bill on regulating online ride-hailing services to the Legislative Council for first reading next Wednesday. Explaining the latest changes, Transport Chief Mabel Chen said requiring registered drivers operate their own cars can shut out black market operators. Jamie Liu has more.
In the latest proposal, the licensed online ride-hailing driver must be the registered owner of the vehicle. This arrangement is different from the taxi trade, where drivers often rent a cab from a third party. On a radio program, Transport Secretary Mabel Chen said this can prevent licenses being traded for profit and keep illegal drivers off the road. She mentioned the recent case of private vehicles running illegal hire car services where drivers were working without a valid ID or license. If we tie the car to the driver, not only can ride-hailing platforms have clear oversight, but also stop unauthorized drivers, Chen said. The government also plans to let cars up to 12 years old apply for online ride-hailing permits for the first time, 5 years older than originally proposed. The taxi trade criticized the threshold as too lenient, noting that taxi fleets only accept vehicles 3 years old or newer. But the transport chief defended the change, saying it helps ensure enough drivers in the ride-hailing business. She pointed out that taxis and ride-hailing cars serve different roles, with the latter mostly driven by part-timers. She reiterated her hope that taxis and hire cars can coexist and complement each other. Under the legislative timetable, if the bill passes, license applications would begin in the third quarter next year, with ride-hailing cars potentially hitting the road by the fourth quarter. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
A Hong Kong tourist has died following a traffic accident during a luxury train tour to Xinjiang. 3 others were injured and hospitalized. The incident occurred on Wednesday, the 6th day of an 18-day tour of North and South Xinjiang, operated by Hong Kong-based agent TCI Travel. The tour group's vehicle experienced a tire burst and stopped roadside and was subsequently struck by another vehicle. The victim and 3 injured travelers are from 2 families and all had purchased travel insurance. The remaining 16 tour members have continued their itinerary with local guides. The Hong Kong Travel Industry Authority confirmed it is coordinating with immigration departments and Xinjiang authorities to oversee further investigations and arrangements. Thailand now has a 3rd prime minister in 2 years. Anutin Charnvirakul, a business tycoon and political conservative, has been elected as the country leader, ending a week of political chaos triggered by his predecessor's sudden ouster. Kun Ting Yang reports.
Anutin, 58, secured a decisive majority with 311 votes in the lower house, comfortably surpassing the required 247 votes. Leader of the Bunjai Thai Party, best known for liberalizing cannabis laws in Thailand, Anutin defeated Chaikasam Nitisiri of the Pheu Party. His rise to power was secured through a pact with the opposition People's Party, which pledged support in exchange for his commitment to call a snap election within 4 months and begin amending Thailand's military-drafted constitution. Meanwhile, Pheu will relinquish power after a tumultuous 2-year tenure, marked by the abrupt dismissal of former Prime Minister Paitongtar Shinawatra by the Constitutional Court last week for ethical violations. This effectively draws the curtain on the Shinawatra dynasty. Its central figure and ex-Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra flew to Dubai on his private jet last night for medical treatment, ahead of a court ruling scheduled for next week that could see him jailed. After questions over whether he was going back into exile, Thaksin said he would return no later than Monday to attend court. Quentin Ya, Cable News.
Indonesia's protests, which escalated following the killing of a delivery rider, have sparked a drive among app users in Southeast Asia to show their support through overseas delivery orders. Anna Chen has the story.
Popular anger exploded after a 21-year-old Gojek rider was killed in Jakarta last Thursday when a police vehicle ran over him. He was working at the time and not involved in the protest. Another Grab rider was beaten to death by a mob the following day in South Sulawesi, after being accused of being an undercover intelligence officer. In the wake of the violence, Indonesians began using the ride-hailing and delivery apps to send food, drinks, and first aid kits to delivery riders. Others in neighboring countries such as Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, and Thailand have joined in the practice to show support for these gig workers. The hashtag Siblings, a play on Southeast Asia's acronym, has gone viral on social media, with guides on how to help by placing food orders on Grab and Gojek in Indonesia and informing the riders that they can keep the food or distribute it to their family and friends. Some Indonesian delivery riders have taken to social media to show their gratitude. One viral video showed a man crying as he thanked a donor from Singapore who had ordered food for him, which he shared with others. Anna Chen, Cable News.
A third earthquake has shaken Afghanistan as the death toll from the devastating quake on Sunday rose to more than 2,200. A magnitude 6.2 earthquake struck southeastern Afghanistan on Thursday, the third tremor in the same region in 4 days. The tremor, at a depth of 10 kilometers, followed the earlier quakes that flattened villages in Kunar and Nangarhar provinces, injured more than 3,600 people, and destroyed more than 6,700 homes. The death toll from Sunday's earthquake had risen to over 2,200, making it one of the deadliest natural disasters to hit the country in decades. Tens of thousands have left homeless and without access to food or water. Taliban authorities have deployed helicopters and airdropped army commandos to help survivors, while rescue and relief efforts have been hampered by a lack of international aid funding and resources flowing into the country. Now let's take a look at the stock markets. The Hang Seng Index ended the day up 359 points. Top active stocks of the day: Alibaba was up $2. Tencent was up $13. BYD was up $1.10. Potmart was up $3. Foreign exchange against the Hong Kong dollar: Canadian dollar 5.65, Australian dollar 5.10. On to the weather now. Mainly fine apart from isolated showers. Extremely hot during the day. Winds will strengthen gradually and the weather will become unsettled later on Sunday. That's our news tonight. I'm Evelyn Bai. Thanks for watching and good night.